like a window, no window, look at the videos, say yourself that could have been you.
Because they're like, Sanya On-Air. And everybody on the East Coast calls me Don. I'm like, what is Don?
My mom thought I was on Long Island, but I was at Howard Homecoming. Turn it up.
Let's go.
Welcome, everyone. You are now tuned into another amazing edition of Sanya On-Air. I'm your host, Sanya Hudson-Payne. And how do I start off each and every single episode? You guessed it. I have another great show for you. Coming up in just a few short moments, I have the amazing and talented actress and singer and songwriter, Melanie Halfkenny. Now, if you don't know who she is, lean a little bit closer so I can tell you a secret. How many of you watched the legendary Lena Waithe film, Queen and Slim? I won't. I know it's you, and you. Well, then you've seen Melanie Halfkenny because she was in Queen and Slim. We're going to unpack her pivotal moments and milestones, so make sure you stay tuned. But before we bring in my next guest, do me a favor. Make sure that you subscribe to Sanya On-Air, which streams across just about every major streaming platform. You can find Sanya On-Air streaming across Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, Buzzsprout, Stitcher. And if you're watching this on YouTube, not only am I asking you to subscribe, but make sure you hit that little notification button on the side. That way, every time I upload my weekly Sanya On-Air celebrity interviews, you will be the first, not the second, but the first to know. Okay? And then guess what? While you're doing that, surfing the web and subscribing and pressing the notification button, make sure you visit and purchase Sanya On-Air Empower Apparel. Why not let your clothing be the statement? Because people doing too much of this, too much yep. Let your clothing be the statement. Want to know how you can purchase Sanya On-Air Empower Apparel? Go to the description section of this episode, press on the link, and be redirected. That simple. And while you're at it, while you're purchasing Empower Apparel, I have another amazing brand I want to bring to you. Humble Hearted. Don't you see that? This says, Black, no sugar, no cream. Okay? Humble Hearted brand. You can find them as a Facebook group. All of their apparel is on their Facebook group for you to purchase. If I have any more information, I'm going to get that and I'm going to put that in the description section. So make sure you read through the entire description section because it's going to have tons of information. And then also another brand, I'm increasing brands visibility. Why not increase your brand's visibility with a digital billboard? Sanya On-Air has access to amazing digital billboards in 41 cities across the United States. 41 cities. Increase your brand's visibility. Find out about my affordable rates. Simply email me at sanya@sanyaonair.net.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tim and Kyle Durrett. You may also know me as Davis West on the hit television series Queen Sugar on the OWN network. Listen, when I'm not prepping for a scene or on set doing my thing, I'm tuned in to Sanya On-Air. Check her out, y'all.
Get your groceries and essentials delivered in as fast as 1 hour via Instacart. Free delivery on your first order of $10 or more. Now, football season is in full swing. Be sure to get everything you need for your football party so your friends won't talk about you, because I will. Make sure you use the link in the description section and be taken directly to Instacart. Make that football party an event they won't forget.
Like right here. Hey.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Good. Now, do you prefer to be called Five or Melanie?
Either or. 5 really, because that's what all my fans know me as is 5. But because of Queen and Slim, of course, in the creds, you get the Melanie Halfkenny. But everybody knows me by 5 as far as, my artist name goes.
So let's start right there. Where did you get the name 5 from?
So I don't know if you're familiar with numerology or numbers, but there's a lot of strong, powerful meanings behind the number 5 if you have a chance to actually look that up. But also the Supreme Being. I don't know if you've seen the movie The Fifth Element. It was one of my favorite movies. And ever since then, that number just stuck with me. I see it everywhere. It's kind of like my lucky number. Like I see 5 everywhere. So for me, it just kind of grew on me from there. I was in the studio one day and I happened to be in there with one of my good friends and a producer at time. And we was like unsure where I was going to go with my artist name. And he was like, what do you think about 5? And I just was like, oh my God, like, I love the number 5. Right. This has kind of been on my heart for a long time. But, when you're in the industry, as far as music goes, the names are it's tricky. You know what I mean? Like, it's really tricky on how not only you have to pick out your name, but what's going to pop, what's going to stand out, Yeah. And I don't know, just from there, it's been 5. And I've been some other names before.
Give me one other name that you were before you landed at 5. 4?
So no. So Melody. Well, my name is Melanie, but Melanie Monroe was one of them. I like that. And then Lola Monroe came out. I don't know if you know her. Yeah. But she's a female rapper out of DC. And before that, it was. At first, I was going with my middle name as well because my middle name is Nicole. Okay. So growing up, everybody called me Nikki. But then you had your Nicki Minaj that came out and just all these different things. So it's just kind of like, Melanie. Did I want Melanie? Did I want Melanie Halfkenny? No. So 5 just kind of grew on me. I
love it. And, as I was looking at the name 5 and I'm asking myself, where did she get that name? And I just got into with numerology, like the number 11, following me for the past year. And, I finally realized the purpose behind it. So I said, I wonder if this ties into numerology. So to know that my assumption was correct, I like when people lead with a purpose.
Yeah, for sure.
It means a lot. A name speaks life. It speaks meaning. So I'm glad that you went in that direction. But I want to talk about Queen and Slim because let me tell you, honey, you bodied the role of Naomi. Let me back because when I was researching, I was like, okay, who is Melanie 5 Halfkenny?
Yeah.
So the credit for Queen and Slim, I was like, yes. She is. How did you learn about the role and how did you secure the role?
So it was actually so crazy because it went down in the DMs for real. Like long story short, I pretty much moved to Atlanta from DC for a while. And I was just moving around musically. And it's just different there when it comes to the music. But I just wanted to still be me. You know what I mean? So while I was out there, I didn't follow what everybody else was doing. And how people go in the direction of being an artist and trying to look the same and being the same. I wanted to really keep that originality in who I was and my look. Mm-hmm. And they liked my look. Like literally Queen and Slim hit me off of my look, so that was huge for me. Shout out to you because you're rocking the braids. Yeah, I used to rock braids and I still do right now. I'm going through that growing out stage. I always cut my hair. I just have a Britney Spears moment and just go for them clippers, boy. But it's growing back out. But I had braided my hair and I used to get colorful braids and braid them all the way down to the floor. I've been doing that for years. And they slid in my DM and they was like, we really like your look. We want you to audition for Queen and Slim. And I was just like, catfish, you know what I mean? Like, people are not just sliding in your DM for movie roles, you know what I mean? Especially big movie roles as far as the attachment goes. Usually that takes agents. And at the time, I'm an artist. So I'm like, why, you know, I was not even thinking about that actress lane, you know what I mean? So I was like, this is catfish. So then I started doing my research and looking up Queen and Slim or whatever. I was like that, and I seen who was attached to it. Lena Waithe, Melina, Daniel Kaluuya. And I was just like, oh, hold up, wait a minute. Let's go back into this DM right quick. And let me see if the person that's actually messaging me is legit. Shout out to our RMP casting agency. They actually it was a casting agent from that company that DM'd me. So I started looking up her and I started looking up her information and found out she was like legit. It was a casting company in Atlanta, Georgia. So I was like, if anything, I could always call and find out if this is real or not. You know what I mean? So I actually got in touch with her. She sent me like legit information and I found out that it was like a real thing. And I was like, dang, am I ready? Am I prepared for this? But I was like, I can't really start doubting myself because at the end of the day, it's entertainment for me. And this all goes hand in hand, right? So I'm used to acting in my music videos. I used to act back in school when I did drama class and theater and stuff like that. So I'm like, just do it. You know what I mean? And just see where it goes. And they sent me the role. They sent me 2 roles. One role is the one for Goddess and one was for Naomi. India Moore played Goddess. So I auditioned for both and I ended up getting Naomi. And the role was like, I was like, oh, I could do this. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I could so do this. And I just pretty much got into character because for me, it was like, I feel like everybody's a Naomi in a sense of what we go through as women, as Black women too, being in domestic situations, you know what I mean? And, you know, I feel as though you can kind of like conjure up something that you probably went through in a life experience and pretty much act that out, you know? And that's what I pretty much did. And I didn't let the nerves get back the best of me because, you know, I'm already in the entertainment world, you know what I mean? But being around like Bokeem and vets, like real vets at this, it was just like, girl, you either gonna have them making you look like you can't act, or you better get it together and you better go in there and you better be like on the same level. Yeah. And everybody was like really shocked because they was like, this is your first time acting. I'm like, y'all are not about to make me look like an amateur up in here. Like, so it was really cool, but everybody was it was love, you know what I mean? Like on set, as far as our culture goes, you know what I mean? So it didn't discourage me in any way. Sometimes sets can be uncomfortable when it comes to certain things. And just because it was my people, it was like for us, by us, you know what I mean? The culture, it just felt right. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much the story of Queen and Slim.
But that's a good story because, you know, I always tell people, you know, don't just post anything on social media, like be purposeful. And I'm glad that whatever you were doing on social media, it caught the attention of somebody very important.
Right.
Landed, you know, a huge role, you know, so that was big. Did that role spark your interest in acting a lot more?
For sure. Like, I get what they say about Hollywood because behind the scenes is tricky. You know, that whole thing with, you know, race and just equality and just everything when it comes to what actors go through. I have gained a whole new respect level for actors, especially Black actors, because of what they go through. You know what I mean? And just even with connecting with a character to where mentally it does things to you as far as you can get stuck in some of them situations with these type of roles that you have to be in the person you have to be. So it gave me like big mad respect for them, but it was like it opened that door for me. Like, I can do this. Like, I can really do this, and I can take it serious on a level where it's not only like I'm not worried so much about, oh, she's tatted up and she wears the colorful hair, colorful lashes, and da 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 da. It's just like I feel like the more authentic I am, the more I'm being myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel as though it's better in a sense of the opportunities that I could possibly get out of this situation because of that uniqueness,
Right.
because of not that typical,
Mhm.
you know, image that
Right.
you think that you'll see in Hollywood.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
And
I was like, oh, go ahead.
I was questioning that too as I was doing my research, because I was just like, every other picture, she looks so different. And I was wondering, does that hinder her getting roles? Because, you know, casting directors may say, well, I can't find her. Who is she? We don't know who she is. But to know that you have carved out a lane that is so unconventional and it's working, that lets you know, like, stay in your truth. You don't have
Stay in your truth.
color images that you see on social media or
For
on
sure.
television. So I'm glad that you know, shed light on that. Stand in your truth.
For sure, because if the talent is there, I think that they see more the talent shines through everything, right?
Right.
So if you have the talent and you're actually putting that work in and you're going hard, especially with my auditions, because I'm telling you, I've auditioned with green hair, pink, all like they love me still. You know what I mean? They love that. I always get feedback from producers and from directors like, oh my God, they love you. You know, even if you don't make the role sometimes, because of course they go with a certain whatever is fitting for that actual character of what the idea that they had. The acknowledgement to me is everything. You know what I mean? Because they're still acknowledging that, well, hey, she might not be your typical look of what you think, you know, especially what casting directors might shy away from, or directors in general. Like, oh my God, it's just too much is going on. But actually are just like, oh wow, we see the talent, we see you type,
Right.
you know, energy is what I'm getting. So and I'm competing with the top, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like I'm new to this, so it's like, to me, any of that is a good thing for me, whether I get it or I don't get it. And for me, it's all practice, because at the end of the day, there's people that has been doing this for years. Like how I've been grinding in the music, they've been grinding when it comes to acting and trying to land roles.
Right.
So for me, I'm just blessed because the type of roles that come my way, and you know, they go off of your profile, they go off your picture, your reels and stuff that you have. So even the fact that they are saying we want her to audition, you know what I mean, is huge for me, because it shows that there's something that's grabbing their attention. You know what I mean?
And that also shows that maybe the industry is changing a little bit. You know, they're changing their norms and opening their windows, you know, provide more diversity.
For sure.
So I'm glad that you are a prime example of, you know, just Hollywood opening its doors to things that, or to people or actors that are more unconventional. But you briefly touched on, you know, the journey of an actress who is a woman of color. Now, being an actress, what have you experienced so far as a woman of color that made you go, that was kind of harsh a little bit? What were the experiences?
I would say sometimes, depending too on certain sets you have, you'll have people that still, and it's so sad in the day and age that we're in, but everything that you hear about Hollywood and how Viola Davis, like all these Black women are fighting for equality, equal pay, just to be seen, have to do the most just to show like, hey, I'm talented too. You know what I mean? But just like things like they'll say certain racist things on set. You know what I mean? To kind of like make you feel like, oh, don't get it twisted now. You're still Black and we're still who we are and we're still superior now. Don't think because you got this little role that makes you any, you know, bigger than the people that might be behind the camera or the people that are actually producing this, making like as far as like the platform that these you know, these movies come out on. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like they still kind of try to make us feel like we're, I wouldn't say, yeah, in a sense, beneath them, in a sense of, you know, like stay in your place, stay in your lane type thing. But it's good to see, like, and that's why I felt so good on that Queen and Slim set, because when you have a Black woman that's the writer of the movie,
Right.
when you have a Black woman that is the director of the movie, it's just like, regardless of how y'all feel, we're here. You know what I mean? And we're making this happen, and we're going to do us the way that we want to do us. So I was just like, this is so dope. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of like situations that might happen that are a little bit like, ooh, it's getting a little tense up in here. Like, what's going on? It's good to be around. I've been blessed to be around a lot of Black directors, Black producers, you know what I mean? To where I'm not kind of feeling too uncomfortable, you know what I mean? Because it's just like when you go in a situation and you stand out like a sore thumb, whether you're in the wrong part of town, the wrong restaurant, it's like one of those feelings. It can really feel like that. But once you are, you know, comforted by the people that look like you know
Right.
what I mean, and that are around you, you have that support, it kind of takes, you know, a lot of pressure off of feeling like, can I be myself?
Right.
Can I act like who, you know, I really am when I'm just at the crib, or, you know, whatever else? Or do I gotta, you know,
Put on the front.
fake it till you make it?
Right.
And I've been blessed to not be able yet to have to be in that type of situation, but I have heard a lot of racial things, you know, on set, a lot of racial jokes, a lot of racial, you know, they like to do that too, that homegirl type stuff, like, sister, what's up, sister?
Right.
And it's just like, be yourself. Talk to me like how you would talk anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, don't let the color, don't let the tats, don't let any of that fool you. I'm still very articulate, and I just still know how to speak very well. You don't have to talk to me like you feel as though we talk, you know. But it's tricky, and I feel like it's just our industry, the society. I think it's just the society, the way that America is set up. It don't matter if you're in a corporate world, don't matter if you're in the industry, politics. It's all the same thing when it comes to that. You know, so
what's refreshing is, you know, even though some things in Holly weird has stayed the same, it's refreshing to know that things are taking a turn for the better.
For sure.
I know, like, in my generation of actresses, you may have, let's say, Gabrielle Union, Sanya and Nia Long, and they once said that they were always in the same room, going up for the same roles, being pitted against each other. So have you found that with this rise of millennial actresses that Hollywood already has their A-list of millennial actors? And if so, who are they?
Yeah, they definitely do. Like, you'll have, I think when I audition for a lot of things, they always put like a Zendaya, like type of a Zendaya, if I'm saying it right, as kind of like a reference, or, you know, or then when they want dark-skinned, beautiful woman, they'll say they want more of a, especially if they're mature women, like they're looking for more of a Viola Davis, or so, like, they use certain women that are already Black women that are doing very well in their careers. They use them as references a lot of the times of what they're looking for, so to speak. And for me, I don't care. I just click that. I submit my stuff regardless. Right. And I be telling my, you know, my agent to submit me regardless too, because I still want to give them that kind of like, ooh, possibly, or maybe. But, you know, they definitely do. And it's really crazy when it comes to the industry, I could say, because it's very fake. And a lot of these women are, and it's unfortunate with our culture, especially Black women, it sucks that instead of like they always want to scream, let's unite, let's collaborate, let's unify, empower women empowerment. But no, it's competition. Yes. It's straight up low-key hate. Yeah. Competition. You have to really be careful too of what people, especially people that are highly connected, you got to be careful how you rub elbows with them, because you never know what they're saying to try to blackball you or put you in a situation to where you don't get an opportunity, you know? You have a lot of that. And I think that that's just the industry, period. And I don't, like I said, I think that's whatever industry that you might be in, whether the corporate world and all that, like getting promotions and stuff like that. You will always have your few that are going to try to do things to see you fail or sabotage that. And for me, I show love. I don't like when I feel like when what's meant for me and what's already set up and aligned in the stars for me, nobody can take that away from me. So I don't feel threatened ever when I'm around these females or in situations like I guess they look at me and they expect me to act like a fan or act like I'm beneath them. But to me, you're my equal, sis. I don't look at you as I'm superior or underneath you. You are my equal. I want to see you win just as much as I want to win. You know what I mean? So whatever you're doing is not going to threaten me. And I've literally been in situations to where, especially now that I'm acting, to where certain people would try to make sure I don't get, you know, a role or overshine them or outshine them in just little situations like that. And these are people that you think are your friends. So that rock with you. And
in those type of situations, what do they do to make sure that you don't land the role and they do? What type of sabotage take place?
So I recently got played in a situation to where somebody made sure that I had a direct connect to where I could have talked to exactly who I needed to talk to, right, to get that role. But I didn't want to step over that person's toes because they was a lead actress in the movie, and they were definitely connected to where they reached out to me personally and told me I was good. They was going to look out for me. I was straight. Then comes to find out on the back end, when everything started, you know, production started rolling, they started filming, I got a call from one of my other people that was on the movie as well as a lead. Why aren't you here? What is going on? I thought so-and-so was looking out for you and da-da-da-da. They said that all the roles were casted and it was too late, as you know, as far as me getting in to the situation or auditioning, what have you. They was like, they're still booking people today. You know what I mean? And he was like, as a matter of fact, I'm going to let you talk to the director. I'm going to let you talk to the producer. I get on the phone with them. Oh my God, we love you. We had no idea that you.
Wow.
And it's just like, huh? You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, stuff like that to me, it's just like, if you feel as thus, I will outshine you. Or you feel as thus, like you have to do little things like that to make sure somebody else doesn't win or whatever. To me, that is sad. You know what I mean? Because especially in this type of industry, I feel as though when you are more of like a collaborator or you work together, I feel like you can make something even bigger, than more so doing, everything on your own in a sense, because this industry, there's room. There's literally room. So for you to feel like you have to be that way, to me, I would never. Wow. That's just something that I would never understand when it comes to the industry. And that's why my presence is not, I don't know if you noticed, but that's why my presence is not as big on social media, because I can't do that fake energy. Yeah. I just can't do it. Like the things that you have to do to be viral and to get this Instagram famous and this clout, and it's just like, I'm doing stuff in real life. I don't have to put on this front for social media when I'm actually in my personal life. I'm really doing stuff. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like social media is more so for people trying to put on a facade that they're living a certain type of lifestyle that they're really not. Right. You know what I mean? And to me, I just don't have the energy for that. Like, to me, I'm like, as long as I'm working, as long as I'm booked, you know what I mean? As long as my mental health is protected, I'm so good on that social media viral mess. I think it's just messy on that.
But those are all great points, because, you answered what I was going to ask you. Like, how do you navigate through the industry knowing that you probably can't make real meaningful friendships or relationships because there may be some sabotage? And I like that once again, you're standing in your truth and you're not trying to create a a false life just for the gram or just for Hollywood, that you're staying in your truth. So speaking of staying in your truth, what actors inspire you?
Oh man. Will Smith is kind of like up there for me right now. Like, I just am blown away every single time. Like Will, Jamie Foxx, it's just people that are just so just ridiculous. Like their talent is just like unmatched. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like there's nobody else. Your Denzels, you know what I mean? Like, there's a couple of females too that I really love. I really love Viola, as you can tell, Viola Davis. I feel as does anybody that can get into these characters and make you cry with them and believe it's real life. Yeah. It's inspiring. And why I say Will is because he just played so many roles, especially in Pursuit of Happiness, that hits you in a place where it's just like, it makes you start thinking about your life, like your upbringing, you know, your future, all sorts of things. And then when you really find out what these people, because, you know, I've been reading the book. I got the book right here.
Okay.
Yes, when you really be finding out what's going on in their life behind closed doors, it's just like, yo, you know what I mean?
Real,
like
human beings too.
These are real people. And it's crazy too, because it shows you how Hollywood can like really make not only with the fans and stuff like that believe or whatever else like that, but make you believe about people. You know what I mean? That are totally the opposite of what you might have been personally thinking about them or their lifestyle and where they came from. Like, there's a lot of actors that came from the bottom. Like, even if they started getting ego because the money started coming in and the fame started getting them big-headed, when you hear about some of their struggles and their stories of how they were before time, like even with Kanye, like that's how I feel about Kanye. Like, yeah, Kanye's going through the things that he's going through now, but do you know his story? Like, do you know what he'd been through on the back end and before Hollywood and whatever else like that got to him? Those are the type of things that I still respect. You know what I mean? Because
Sanya On-Air, because I want to normalize the celebrity experience by unpacking your pivotal moments and your milestones. Because if we leave it to television, film, movies, whatever, we will be believing that these people are totally different. And I just
opposite
whatever is behind the makeup and the facade, you know. So this is the purpose of Sanya On-Air. But also,
I love that.
You spoke about, you know, the Black space and working with people who are willing to collaborate. And you were on a film called, what was it? Super
Turnt.
Yeah. And was that curated or produced by Kevin Hart's ex-wife, Tori Hart Productions?
Yeah. Tori Hart Productions and Man Robinson.
When I saw that a Black woman, was behind that film, I said, that is super, super dope.
Yeah.
How did you become part of that cast?
So I reached out to Man. I was like, I'm about to just go hard because I seen it in Actors Access. So I was like, let me find him on Instagram. Looked him up on Instagram, slid in them DMs, and was like, yeah, like, what roles you got? I heard about Star. I'm Star. What you need me to send? What you need me to do? And I think he liked that, you know, that I was just, you know, pretty much like whatever with it, you know what I mean? Because I know people have protocol and stuff like that, and it's a certain way you go behind things, but I'm hungry right now, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna show that hunger. I don't care if people call it thirsty, begging, whatever. For my thing is exactly. And time ain't waiting for nobody. Like, I'm not getting any younger. So for me, it's just like now or never. So he sent me the audition. I found out Tori. That's when I found out Tori was his business partner. So I was like, oh, bet. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's not even my connection and my view of what I see that she's connected to Kevin Hart. It's the connection of I see her as a Black woman and how she got over that whole ordeal and is trying to make a whole lane for herself as far as separate me from all that mess. This is who I actually am, and this is what I'm actually about and doing. And when I met her, when I say that she's the most humble, coolest, down-to-earth person, realist person that I've ever met in this industry, as far as just being authentically her in any situation. You know what I mean? Around anybody, like she's just Tori Hart, you know, and I respect that and I appreciate that, because that's how I be feeling like when I'm looking around, like, what is wrong with everybody? Why are y'all acting like robots? Like, be yourself, you know what I mean? Like, and I can respect that about her, but not only that, like her grind and her hustle, like I love it. Everything that she, you know, she has told me that she is, you know, into, and what she's doing now and what's on the way and what the future holds for her. I'm inspired, you know what I mean? I love seeing stuff like that for somebody like me who is on the up and up of what I want to become and what I'm trying to do in this industry, and seeing her be able to do it with all the other mess and the things that people say about her, the way that people think of who she is, they really have no idea. Yeah. And that's what makes it so cool about her, because she don't go hard to try to even show them like this is not who I am.
Right.
She's just her.
Speak for herself. And and that's what I love. You know, she's not adding to the noise. You know, she's creating her own lane. I respect that so much. And when like I said, when I learned that she was a part of Super Turnt, you know, with Tori Hart Productions, I said, you better work. You better.
Period. And she's doing so many other great things. And I'm like, y'all don't even. Well, they ain't even ready. That's like what I like to tell her. Like, they're not even ready, sis. Because
I don't think they're ever ready for a Black woman to really own her excellence. Because which is so unfortunate, is that our Blackness is always weaponized, even before we enter into any room.
Hello? Say that again.
So unfortunate. But also what I want to know, you know, with your first role in Queen and Slim and then your role in Super Turnt, what's the biggest lesson that you learned so far?
The biggest lesson that I can say that I've learned is just because things are kind of like, you get in there, you're footing in the door, like, don't get it twisted. You still got a lot of work to do. You know what I mean? Like, you still got to go hard. Don't think that you can come into these situations and just because you rub up elbows with these people or build rapport with these people, that means you're connected and you're plugged into Hollywood and you're plugged into a situation, and now you'll be here and you'll be there and no, they'll open those doors for you, but you got to be able to walk through them. You know what I mean? You have to be able to put your work in and show whoever it might be that you belong. You know what I mean? Period. And especially if you want to be here for a long time. Right. And for somebody like me, longevity is everything. Just like with my music, that's why I've been in situations where I could have got deals, but if you're trying to tell me that I have to be like this person and that person and have these type of lyrics and say these type of things in my music, I'd rather stay true to what I'm doing right now, because I'm still a storyteller. I'm still the 90s baby of telling stories in my music, like true real R&B and hip hop. You know what I mean? That's the only way I know how. Yeah. So for you to tell me that I got to jump on the train, what everybody else is doing, it's just like, no. But just know that takes more grind. That takes more of you really like being patient and holding it down and trying to stay as true to yourself as possible till they get it. Keep on doing you until they start being like, oh, okay, now we see, now we're on it. You know, and that's kind of like where I am in the industry. I'm like, okay, yeah, I might not be Instagram famous and maybe I not have my name in lights and all this other stuff, and I know when it's my time, period. Right. And whenever that might be, whenever my creator lets me know, like, hey, this is it. But right now, I'm not about to do anything to sell my soul to make it hurry up any, faster. Yeah. So I can definitely say I've learned that this is definitely still a grind. You still have to work your way. Like the grind never stops. Like Diddy be saying, can't stop, won't stop.
Right.
There's a reason why he says that. Because unless you was just born with a silver spoon and you got millions and millions of dollars in the bank, nah. And then the people that are trying to act like, oh, because I'm on now, you see me in some movies now, I'm rich. No, they're lying. Okay. Same thing with record deals. That's probably the label's money they spending.
Right.
But just so you know, a lot of these people are broke for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's still a grind. Like everybody is going through a struggle, period. I don't care whatever it might be, and whether it's financially, mentally, whatever. These people are human beings, okay? And everybody's just trying to make it at the end of the day.
So
you know what I mean?
So true.
So
now let's transition into your music.
yeah.
Let me tell you, I did listen.
Okay.
I even fell asleep to it last night, and my daughter was like, "Mom, if you don't go to sleep and turn off that music."
Oh yes, girl. Yes. See, I love it.
Music and really unpacking the lyrics. I said, okay, I think you're like in your 20s or something. I said, child, she has lived a few experiences. Let me tell you a few of my favorites. Okay?
Yeah, please.
What's it called? High Standards?
Higher Standards. Yep.
Talk about that song, because I know you know what it's about, but for my listeners, talk about higher standards. I think people need to have higher standards.
Listen, I love to say, people always say, oh, you changed up, you switched up because, you're on or you got money now. No, y'all switched up because now I'm on and I got money. And now a lot of people like to be leeches. A lot of people don't like to really elevate themselves, and they really want you to stay in that same spot too. Like they don't really like to see elevation. They try to act like they want to see elevation, but they don't really want to see that for real. They want you to be in the same miserable, struggling spot that you've been trying to get out of. Right. But if you can help out, yes, I'll help you, but you got to be the one to be able to now do something. You can't be a leech. You can't just be sucking me dry, whether it's my energy, whether it's me financially. You know what I mean? You have to want something for yourself too. So Higher Standards was based off of relationships that I had with a lot of females that I had to cut off because they was mad because of my elevation and where I was trying to go in my life. And they start doing the fake pages. They start hating. I'm now this, I'm now that, blah, 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 blah. And it just goes to show that, damn, you know what I mean? Like, you was really low-key hating this whole entire time for real.
Yeah. You know how that song resonated, because I was actually I am going through an experience where I was looking at a friend. I don't think that friend wants me to win. I've elevated, I'm a different person, and I don't think they want me to win. So when I listened to that song, I was like, damn it, I need to put this on repeat. I played that song from the Bronx to Brooklyn. It hit home.
Period.
Another song that I liked, Put It On You.
Put It On You?
Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Love it. But wait a minute. How did you get, the path to clear that sample?
Listen,
Lauryn cleared nothing.
So right now it's just so funny because my producer, the way that he does it, is he kind of like mixed the beat in a sense of where it's not gonna be, how all that stuff is copywritten, all that stuff like that. Am I back?
You froze for a second.
I'm back though, right?
Wait, you froze. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. What did you say?
I'm back though, right?
Hold on for just a moment because this is about to die. Just hold on, okay?
I'm actress Renee Lawless, and when I'm not making heads spin on OWN networks, Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have-Nots, I'm making time for Sanya On-Air.
Okay. Yeah, so how did you get that song cleared?
Okay, so we never used Lauryn Hill's actual vocals or anything like that.
Okay.
But he finessed the beat to where, it wasn't exactly the same to where it's like they could be like, oh, you stole, da, da, da. The most of it, because I did do the Tina Marie, ooh la, with the ooh la 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 in there, So I kind of like mixed it up in a sense of, so it was, so we kind of did it in a clever way where we pray to God that we wouldn't get sued. But I was like, if this song goes that viral and we blow up, and I get sued, I mean, shit, at least I know I have the coins to be like, Lauren,
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
That song
yes. That's how we took that. We was just like, if it happens to blow up and that happens, like, yeah, she ends up saying something. But he did a little bit of finessing when it comes to like behind the scenes, to where it's like it's not spot on as far as copyright and fragments or anything like that. But I'm like, I have to pay homage to the queen, because that's another one who inspired me too, because Lauryn acts, Lauryn sings, and Lauryn raps, and she writes. And that's me all day. You know what I mean? And she stays true. She stayed true to herself enough to sit her ass down when she was popping.
Yeah.
Who does that? You know what I mean?
Lauryn don't give a fuck. Lauryn will. She have a show. She coming 5 hours late. She don't give a fuck about
at
nothing.
all.
And I love it.
How can you not? You know what I mean? Like, she's a real fucking person at the end of the day. And that's what she was trying to tell her fans, like, hello, like, I'm human, and like, y'all can't force me, or I'm not like your puppet. You are not gonna make me do whatever I don't fucking want to do at this point.
Right.
So that's why I love Lauryn Hill. But yes, Put It On You was definitely just a vibe. That was like a vibe song.
And I don't know if I mentioned the name of the album. It's called Element, right?
Element. Mm-hmm.
2 songs that I absolutely love and I have on repeat. And I told you, like, go to bed, go to bed. What is your favorite song off of your album?
Oh man, it's a couple, but my favorite, I'm not gonna lie right now, my favorite is Before You Go. Leave my heart before you go. That one. Go. That one, I really love that one right now, because I'm telling you, from everything that you see on social media, from my girlfriends calling me, from just everything, the way that these relationships are set up these days, it's just kind of like, what is going on now? Like, that's where some of my inspiration comes from, for real. When I write, I'm writing because of what my homegirl just told me that she went through the other day. You know what I mean? And it's like real shit. It's relatable shit. You know what I mean? And the lyrics are "Leave my heart before you go." And that, to me, that's like so real, because it's like
they will take it with them.
They will take it with them.
Your panties, they take everything.
And then you're so broken. You're so broken because we go into these. I had that before in a past relationship. You go into these deep depressions, like you can't do better, or you're not bad. You got to remind yourself you a bad bitch again. Okay. It's just like, what the hell did I waste my time for again? Like, but it really happens, because especially as women, we do have a savage side to us. But for real, we are very loving creatures at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And we want to be loved, all that stuff. So the emotions are there. It just is what it is. So that was kind of like my favorite, as far as just like, because at that time I knew what it was for, and I knew who I was talking about, and just everything that was going on in the social world, you know, even with these celebrities, shit, like all these situations that go on with them. I'm like, y'all need to listen to this. I know y'all bumping that Summer Walker, but let me tell you about this five.
Yes.
Let me tell you about this five.
List. I'm telling you. I told all my friends, I'm like, okay, here's some new music. I need y'all to get with this.
I love that. Thank you so much, sis. That is
great music.
That's love.
Mentioned Summer Walker. What else do you listen to?
I'm old school, mostly, for real. I still listen to my Aaliyah. I still listen to my Missy. I still listen to Lauryn, my Lil Kim. You know what I mean? Like TLC.
Mary J. Blige.
Like, I'm still stuck in that time. Like, all these new artists, but what y'all talking about? Like, y'all like to go, like, y'all don't leave nothing to the imagination no more. Y'all are not throwing any metaphors in there. Like, everything is just straight to the point. You know what I mean? And like, for me, I like to be clever. I like to like tell stories. I like to, like, you know, I think right now we're in such the strip club music, and then just the freaky. And then, you know, they love over sexualizing Black women. They've been doing that for us since the slavery days. So it's just like every Black woman, even though I love them to death, your Cardis, your Megans and all that, but it's you could tell what music they're trying to push on them. You know what I mean? The same things that they was trying to make me do, but it's that over sexualizing Black women. You know what I mean? And you know, if you fall for it, you fall for it. If you don't, you don't. But like for me, I'm like, fuck all that. Like I'm trying to talk about some real relatable ass shit that people feel.
You understood the assignment. Because I'm telling you, I was a little bit, you know, trepid. You know, I'm like, let me listen to this. I want to be prepared. I said, well, wait a goddamn minute. Let me press rewind on this song. Let me press rewind again. I loved it because it transcends whatever generation you're in. And the music is just good fucking music.
Thank you.
And that's what you did. I'm telling you, this is now on my playlist. So, sis,
I love it.
Yeah, amazing.
I love it.
Amazing job. So, you know, what's next for you?
So, oh man, I got a lot of little things going on. But of course, Super Turnt is coming out December 27th. I want to say I'm not sure exactly the platform. I think they're still kind of like working on that. Out in LA right now. Trying to figure out what we're going to do with this, my first lead role with this movie called Speechless. So we're crossing our fingers. We just finished the pilot not too long ago. So we're just going through the whole who's going to fund it, who's going to back it type ordeal. So that will be my first, you know, lead. And it's about a artist, you know, like trying to make it and things like that. So that's totally awesome. I'm auditioning every chance that I get. So I'm hoping that I land something major with these auditions that I've been having. I have another little project that is coming up that I just booked. So I'm not sure when that's going to come out and we're going to start filming for it, but I'm sure soon. And then the music, like I'm dropping a new single. I want to say hopefully by New Year's. I'm going to try to get this artwork figured out so I can drop it sometime this month or before New Year's, but new music on the way.
Nice.
You know, so.
Please for a second, because you mentioned something, and at first I wasn't going to bring it up, but you mentioned, you know, you're trying to design the cover artwork.
Yeah.
Going through and researching, there was a little situation where
there's been a couple of them.
You accused Doja Cat of stealing your artwork and also placing it on her album cover. Was that ever resolved?
No. So the crazy thing about that and the backstory behind that, because the first people that I was like, oh, she's ranting or something, and she's always thinking people are stealing from her. The crazy thing, and I just didn't put it out publicly because like I said, I don't do the Instagram stuff like that. But the real story behind that is back when Element came out, because that's the artwork she took from. Back when Element came out, I heard of Doja Cat with the whole cow moo moo shit. Remember she did that viral stuff? And I was just like, I love artists like that. I love artists that think out the box and do dope shit when it comes to music, as far as them being something different. As far as the lyrics go, whatever, but her being just, if she was giving me those vibes of, okay, this is an artist. This is the type of creativity artists be on, right? I reached out to her and I was like, hey, Doja, I slid in her DMs and was like, shared my album and was like, I would love for you to be on this project, because she was just coming out, you know, she was just making buzz. I was like, I would love for you to be on this project called Element. I think it'll be dope if we collab type thing. Like, and sent even some of my images, like from the project or whatever. And you know how now they have it set up in the DM where you can't really see if somebody read it or not, or whatever, because they have the request DM if they're not following you. But sis had to open it up. Sis had to read it. Sis had to, because from the anime character that she was before to now transcend into this intergalactic supreme type of being, the alien, the her thing just took me for a loop, because for higher standards, the one that you like, I did a music video that we was in another planet. I was an alien. Everybody was in all aliens, and it was called Planet Melania. So she came out with.
It was in a club, like, right?
It was like we was in an underground type of situation, but it was supposed to be we was on another planet. Like if you watch in the beginning of the video. So all of a sudden she comes out with Planet Her, and then the visuals are just spot on the same as far as me. Like, you know, I think I was on top of a planet, like hovering. Yes, I was hovering over top of a planet. Then she has herself hovering over top of a planet. Then I'm naked in the galaxy, like in an avatar world. Then she's naked in the avatar world. So I'm just like, sis, like, really? Like, I'd rather you be like, let's do something.
Right.
Something dope. Than just go, or acknowledgement.
Right.
Than to just blatantly do some corny ass shit like that. Like, to me, that type of stuff is corny. Like, I still like her as an artist. I think that she looks good. She's doing well in her career because, like I said, I always want to see my other fellow females win. So I'm not even hating on her in that aspect. I'm just looking at that. Like, if I ever see her in person, I will really pull her aside and be like, sis, like, what was that about? Like, for what? Like, really?
So what have you learned from that instance about sharing your intellectual property?
Stop.
Yes.
And I've done that with a lot of people. I've done that where I sent music to certain top producers that will get back to me and be like, oh, I love this, I love that. Then I'm hearing my shit, my same sound and stuff like that with other people or other female artists that they're working with. Like, I really had to chill on linking up with main top producers because they like to take, especially the older ones, like the vets, they like to take like especially from underground artists that are very creative and fresh with ideas and stuff. They like to take from. And even with my auditions, like, I had this situation that happened with Queens. I don't know if you've seen that that show, but Little Muffin's character, I sent them an improv of how I pictured of how I pictured their character should be, the way that she talked, her everything, the way she looked, and then whatever, and still auditioned for that part, so to say. Even sent them in my freestyles. And then I'm turning on I didn't get the role. I could have swore I was going to land it.
Wow.
I just could have swore, like, my agent was even hitting me like, you got that shit. Like, you killed that shit. You got it. And I was like, of course. I was like, but what happens if they give it to somebody else and they fight from my, you know, they was like, there's really nothing you can do legally for real, because first of all, it takes a lot of money to prove it. But when you improv and you're sending that off to the producers and the directors, that's just what it is.
Wow.
So if they take your ideas and they run with it or give it to somebody else, and you don't get the role, it's just like shit. But I like to do that a lot in my auditions. Like, that same thing with Queen and Slim. That whole scene of me and Bokeem was all improv for me.
Really?
Yes. After the pinky ring incident and then me and him start going at it, everything else from there was all improv of me and him just going at it. Wow. So it's like they like, and not besides from Queen and Slim, but these producers and directors that I'm seeing, they like to, you know, see what these actors can bring to a character or a role, the idea that they might have for the role, because that's what you're basically doing. You're putting this whole persona, you know what I mean? Like, you're giving them that.
But I really thought it happened the other way around. I thought that you saw the series Queens and you were enamored by the character and you decided to, you know, mock the character. I didn't know that you did the improv first.
Girl, no, that was all me. That whole, like the way Little Muffin acts, talks, the konnichiwa, little babies, all that was all in my audition. All that, what I'm supposed to do, all that was from my audition. That whole scene that I played was literally from my audition. And that's how I was just floored, because I was like, y'all didn't even try to cover it up. I could see if y'all was just like, make her try to do something, whatever. And then when the rap came on, when she did her rap part, I was done after that. Because the raps that I sent in for the audition, it was just like really, like, I cannot make this up. Like, this is crazy. Like, but it made me learn. I was flattered in a sense, but it also made me learn that it's just kind of like, it goes into what I was telling you. I might have had just not been that right look for them. Right. You know, they loved what I did, clearly, because they did it. But I just probably wasn't that what they was looking for. So they just probably told her, here goes an example of what we want you, you know, how we would like you to do the character.
Right.
But there's no doubt in my mind, because every time we get roles, we literally have to become this character. They just give you a description, but it's up to you on how you portray this character. You know what I mean? So there's no way her audition was just like mine. It's not no possible way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I learned a lot.
That's not good. Well, we do have to wrap up this conversation, but I want to leave you with one thing, because I told you I was sharing your music with my daughter. She probably has your lyrics in her head. But I asked her, I said, okay, so listen to her song and tell me, who does she sound like in the industry? And my daughter said, she doesn't sound like anyone.
Thank you. And I've been hearing that a lot, and that makes me feel, because they already try to compare me to Kalani. I don't know why, because we're both light skinned and we got tattoos, but
that's all.
I'm just like, okay, but then what else? And I've heard J-Lo before, but I'm just like, okay, now y'all just say whatever. But you know how you have your trolls that just swear, they just want you to be like everybody.
Right.
And I'm just like, that makes me tell your daughter, I said, thank you. And that really inspires me.
Picture at all. I just said, listen to the words. My daughter's 26. She loves it as well. And she said she sounds like absolutely no one. And I said, okay, we should have left you. So where can my listeners follow you on social media? Or do you have
you can follow me on Instagram right now. That's the platform.
Right.
So I am the actual number 5 IVE. You can follow me on there. And that's pretty much it right now as far as the socials go, because everything is pretty much in Linktree in my bio. Gotcha. And then just Google. Google is my best friend with anything. So if you just Google me, that way you can really find out my projects and what I got coming up and things that I'm associated with. And then music, you can find me on all music platforms. So if you have Apple, if you have Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Play, all that good stuff, you can find me everywhere. You can even find me on Pandora. So yep. So
that's good stuff. Good stuff. Well, 5, thank you so much. You really gems. And because you are living a purpose-driven life, the sky is just the beginning for you. I'm going to be following you right after this. I'm going to follow you.
Yes, definitely. I'll follow you back. As gorgeous as you are, I'm definitely following.
Thank you.
We didn't really get to talk about you, because I know this is about me, but you already just look interesting. I'm sure I'm going to find some good things out once I, follow you.
Yes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
No, I was like, I wish I could have got my lighting like yours, because you just look gorgeous over here.
Try to make it good. That's that black magic.
Period. That skin, flawless. Melanin is just like, bam, I'm here. What's good?
I received that. Thank you so much.
For real. Beautiful.
Stay blessed, and I will continue to follow you and continue success and blessings, because more is coming your way.
Yes, thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was an amazing conversation. I mean, young, but she talks as if she's been here forever. Make sure that you not only listen to her music, you watch her in Queen and Slim, you watch her in her upcoming film, Super Turnt, and she said that she's filming for a starring role. So make sure you follow her on social media, so when that film drops, you can be there to support. The key word is support. Once again, Sanya On-Air streams across every major platform. Make sure that you subscribe. And you know what? Continue blessings, everyone. Smooches. Take care. Bye-bye.